Chapter 16. The next day started like any other, with one exception. Annie was not home. She had left before the greyhounds got up. Her volunteers were on hand to run things. It was around lunchtime when Annie returned to the kennel. She was not alone. She had a greyhound with her, a black one with a very glossy coat. Fly looked over and thought he had a familiar-looking face. Unfortunately, there was also a very large scar on his side. Fly took a good look and gasped. It was Jack. Tears began to well up in her eyes. Jack barked Fly's name and pulled at the leash. Annie unleashed him and let the two dogs kiss through the chain links as they barked happy howls. "How long have you been here?" Jack asked. "A long time, but it hasn't been bad at all," Fly explained. "The people who visit are nice. Sometimes they take me for a walk, but I never leave with them, like some of the other greyhounds do. I shake too much these days," Fly said sadly. Jack said, "We've got to do something about that. You need to be with a family, not stuck here for the rest of your life." Annie put the leash back on Jack and gently tugged at it. He followed her to a pen that was set up for him. He entered the pen and laid down on a pillow. She latched the door and left the kennel. Jack told everyone, during a race, he lost control and fell into the electrified rail. As a result, he was badly burned. He said he felt the electric shock surged through his body. He passed out, and all he remembers is he was waking up in a hospital pen with a large bandage around him. The bandage remained there for weeks until a man in a white coat removed it. A few days later, Annie came and got him from the hospital. "That's about it," Jack said. "I heard through the greyhound grapevine that I might end up in a place like this, and I should hope that some family adopts me. But I don't think anyone is going to take home a dog with an ugly scar," he said. "Oh, don't worry," Fly replied. "No scars, bumps and lumps can take away from the handsome guy that you truly are." Jack raised his eyebrows and smiled. The two continued to chat until it was time for them to eat their supper and go outside for the last time of the day. They finally forced themselves to get ready to go to sleep. The others in the kennel enjoyed hearing the two old friends reminisce. The next day the dogs were given baths, fed and let outside. Jack coached Fly about her shaking by saying, "Just imagine yourself as a strong and very capable greyhound." His coaching gradually gave her the confidence she needed. Then at about 10 a.m., a family came in and looked around at the dogs. The mom, dad and their two children, Danny and Emily, gazed at Fly and then at Jack. The mom saw the scar on Jack's side. "Oh, poor baby, what happened to you?" Dad and Danny left the kennel. Mom and Emily stayed by Fly's pen. Emily wiggled her finger through the chain links trying to touch Fly. Fly approached the little girl and let her touch her nose. "Mom, this one," Emily said. "Okay," Mom said. "I will get the lady and see if you can take her for a walk." Emily and Mom were joined by Danny and Dad, and the family went outside to walk Fly on a neighborhood sidewalk. After about 10 minutes, the family returned and gave Fly back to a volunteer. The volunteer put Fly back in her pen, and everyone left the kennel. Jack asked, "How did it go?" Before Fly could answer, Annie and the family returned. Annie handed a leash to Emily, who was now jumping up and down, unable to control her excitement. Annie opened Fly's pen and the greyhound jumped to the floor. Annie leashed Fly and said, "Come on, good girl." Fly looked back at Jack as she began walking with Annie and the family. Fly smiled at him. He smiled back. Fly and the family disappeared once again out the kennel door. Jack watched the door close. The smile left his face as he began to settle down on his pillow. Then, Emily returned with Annie, who picked up the green checkered pillow from Fly's empty pen. Jack wondered why Fly was not with them. Annie then gave the pillow to her and said, "Fly will love laying on this pillow. Especially when the days are warm and the sunlight appears golden. She will be there, dreaming dreams like chasing fuzzy brown cotton-tailed bunnies on misty mornings." Emily grinned as they left out the kennel door, and the door closed shut behind them.